Stweve Dangle here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. It is 12:15 and I am already on my third video of the day. So much has happened. If you want, go back and look at my other videos from today and even yesterday to catch up on the news. Here's what has happened since the noon hour hit. Montreal signing David Savard, right-handed defenseman, plays the right side, 4 years, $3.5 million per year. Montreal would obviously know exactly how good David Savard is. They got quite acquainted with him in the 5 games that they played during the Stanley Cup final. Now, if you're wondering where there's room on the team for him, obviously there's Jeff Petrie on the Montreal Canadiens, but it does not sound like Shea Weber is going to play this season. He'll be LTIR'd, so that creates a need for another player, but it also creates space for a player. And David Savard at that number doesn't seem like a bad price. And if, and this is still an if, Shea Weber is able to play, you could potentially see a right side of Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie, and David Savard. There are worse right sides in the National Hockey League. Calgary getting Blake Coleman, a huge deal, like his line mate Barclay Goodrow. It's a 6-year deal. He's making $4.5 million per season. Now, people are going to look at this deal like it's an overpayment. Blake Coleman is a really consistent player, whether he was with the New Jersey Devils or winning back-to-back Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. If he asks to take on a bigger role with the Calgary Flames, that's fine. He's obviously getting paid for it, and we know he's got 20-goal potential. He's actually got some great diving goals, one-handed flick goals, but I like this deal for Calgary from a culture standpoint because this team really seemed to lack something, some sort of passion, yearning, anything. It was a very weird season in terms of vibe from the Calgary Flames. They seem like a team with enough talent that if they can change the vibe, they should be pretty good. Couple very expensive, very interesting deals on the back end for the Vancouver Canucks. Travis Hamonic returning to town. 2 years, $3 million per year. Right-handed defenseman. He can move the puck. He can hit you really hard. You all know that. And there's a little bit of familiarity there. He should be in his happy place playing in Vancouver. And Tucker Poolman going from the Winnipeg Jets to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, the Winnipeg Jets obviously getting Nate Schmidt from the Vancouver Canucks for a third-round pick. That created a little bit of space for Vancouver, so they use it on Tucker Poolman. This was not a cheap deal for a guy who was basically a depth defenseman for the Jets. 4 years, $2.5 million per season. This guy signed a $10 million deal. Good for Tucker Poolman. This is very expensive. The reaction I've seen online so far, not very good. A lot of it is, Jim, put the phone away. But I still say the Vancouver Canucks, they're close to being a really good team. Even if you don't like the contracts, they're close to being a really good team. I'm not going to bet against any team that has Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson. Rounding it off, Frederik Andersen going from the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Carolina Hurricanes. That's official. 2 years, $4.5 million per season. After a drop in play over the last 2 seasons, after so many injuries over the last 2 seasons, after a couple struggling seasons with the Leafs, after many injuries with the Leafs over the last 2 years, Frederik Andersen only taking a $500,000 pay cut per season with the Carolina Hurricanes. That's not bad. And now there's a tandem of Andersen and Raanta. Both goalies with some injury history, but both goalies, when they're healthy, can stop the puck. Martin Jones is apparently heading to Philadelphia. I don't have a number on that yet. That should be very, very interesting. Martin Jones will be the veteran backup, you would assume, to Carter Hart. But again, the goalie question mark seems to continue in Philadelphia. I still say Carter Hart turns it around, and Martin Jones playing less games will be good for him. Nashville, Michael Granlund, 4 times $5 million. This one stunned me. He was a little over a half a point a game player this past season in Nashville. I would have no problem paying $5 million a season for the Michael Granlund we saw in Minnesota. He was scoring over 20 goals a season. He had a couple 60-point seasons. Here's the problem. He hasn't been in Minnesota for a few years. So in order for this contract to not be a disaster, Granlund is going to have to start producing like the Granlund that we saw in Minnesota a few years ago. And lastly, that I have, Boston signing Derek Forbort 3 times $3 million. Is he going to fit in Boston? He's 6'4", so you tell me. Bruins, the Bruins love Bruins hockey. Now, we're going to have to wrap it there because there is a lot more happening. Stay tuned, click refresh, click subscribe, for goodness sake, on this YouTube channel, and leave a comment in the comment box down below. Do you have any thoughts on any of the moves I just said? For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends, scrolly, scrolly, scroll. That's all I'm going to be doing all day.